Hello comparison test viewers, and welcome back to another All Cars Everyday video. Today I'm going to be comparing this vehicle, the 2020 Acura RDX, to the competition. The RDX nameplate has been around since 2007, but this current generation was redesigned last year. Based on the stellar Honda CR-V, this is sure to put up a fight against its other Japanese competitor, the Lexus NX. The NX debuted in 2014 as a 2015 model year, and it is currently still in its first generation. Inspired by its older brother, the Lexus RX, which has dominated sales charts year after year, Lexus hopes to capture the same success in the burgeoning small SUV segment. Let's meet the final competitor, the Audi Q5. The Q5 won a comparison test last year because it was a jack of all trades and a master of none. I thought I'd invite it back this year to face two brand new competitors. I'm comparing the SUVs at the $42,000 to $43,000 price range, so I'll be comparing specific trims of each vehicle without adding any extra options or packages to any of the SUVs. More specifically, I'm comparing the 2019 Audi Q5 Premium to the 2020 Acura RDX A-Spec and the 2020 Lexus NX300 Luxury. With that said, let's delve right into the 2020 Acura RDX. The 2020 Acura RDX A-Spec starts at $43,800. For that price, the exterior of the Acura comes with a panoramic moonroof, jewel-eye LED headlights, tail lights, fog lights, daytime running lights, and unique 20-inch gray wheels. Additionally, the A-Spec is different from other RDX trims with special front and rear bumpers, exhaust tips, and dark molding where chrome would normally be. On the interior, the A-Spec also has unique seats that come with premium Milano leather with contrasting stitching and suede inserts. The front two captain's chairs are power folding 12 different ways, and they're both heated and ventilated. The interior temperature is controlled by a dual-zone climate control unit. A feature that sounds like an April Fool's joke is the GPS-linked climate control, which uses GPS to determine the location of the sun relative to the RDX and adjusts interior temperature accordingly. The RDX also has keyless access that unlocks doors and sets driver preferences, like music, seat position, and climate control, as they approach the car. Moving a foot under the rear bumper or pressing a button will activate the power tailgate. Then, obviously, they're able to start the car with the push of a button. On the leather-wrapped A-Spec steering wheel are controls for the voice recognition software, Bluetooth, and other multimedia interfaces. To change gears in the RDX, simply push the button of the gear you would like to be in on the center console. Automakers use this style to increase the usable room in the front of new cars, but some people don't like it as much as a traditional shifter. Interior lighting in the A-Spec is red, and it also has an auto-dimming frameless rearview mirror. The A-Spec gets a fantastic 16-speaker, 710-watt ELS 3D audio system. Sirius XM, HD radio, and USB ports add to the audio entertainment. The touchpad on the center console corresponds directly to the 10.2-inch screen centered on the dashboard like a laptop computer mouse, except instead of dragging, you just press on the touchpad where the button on the screen would be. The gauges in the A-Spec are unique, but all RDXs have a 7-inch color multi-information display. For the smartphone savvy, the RDX has mobile hotspot capability, Siri Eyes Free, and Apple CarPlay support, but not Android Auto. The final big-ticket feature of the RDX is the navigation system that runs on the screen of the dashboard. The 2020 Lexus NX300 Luxury has a nearly identical starting price of $43,810. The exterior features roof rails, auto-dimming and power-folding heated outside mirrors, a power sunroof, LED DRLs, fog lights and taillights, rain-sensing windshield wipers, and 18-inch alloy wheels. On the inside, the Lexus has a Wi-Fi hotspot, HD radio, Apple CarPlay and Amazon Alexa, voice command, Bluetooth, and a variety of USB ports. The audio system, while not as good as in the RDX, is still decent with 10 speakers. The climate control system doesn't have the gimmicky GPS link, but it is dual-zone as in the Acura. The steering wheel and shift knob are leather, as is the rest of the interior. Like in the Acura, there is a smart access system that includes push-button start. The front seats are heated and ventilated, and the rearview mirror dims automatically. There is a memory function at this trim level that allows the driver's seat, mirrors, and steering column to remember where their position should be depending on who is driving. Like the Acura, the keyless access system also allows you to wave a foot under the rear bumper to open the hatch. The luxury trim line also adds the navigation package standard, which not only adds navigation to the vehicle, but upgrades the 8-inch screen to a 10.3-inch unit. Finally, the luxury package makes sure that the steering wheel is heated and there's black wood trim in the interior. Let's take a peek at the Audi, which happens to be the cheapest of the group at $42,950. Exterior features include LED DRLs and taillights, but the headlights remain xenon. The exterior mirrors are heated but not power folding, and the tailgate is powered as well. The 5-spoke wheels are 18 inches in diameter, and the windshield wipers and headlights turn on when it starts to rain. The steering column is manually adjustable, whereas the Lexus has a powered one. The front seats are powered and heated, and the interior is leather and has wood inlays. The Audi is the only vehicle with a tri-zone climate control system and 40-20-40 rear seats, whereas the other vehicles only fold 60-40. The Audi has a 7-inch touchscreen in the center console and another 7-inch touchscreen behind the steering wheel as the gauge cluster. The Q5 has a 180-watt sound system playing through 10 speakers. 2 USB ports are also part of the infotainment system, and the Audi supports both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, despite technically being the oldest model here in terms of when the Q5 last had a major update. Naturally, Bluetooth and push-button start also find their way into the Audi. The Acura gets a 9 out of 10 for value, as it has a very good sound system, 20-inch wheels, and navigation. No other vehicle has that type of audio system standard, nor does any other vehicle have wheels that big. The Lexus also comes with lots of features standard, but not quite as many as the A-Spec, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10 in this category. I think Audi in general is a slightly more premium brand than Lexus or Acura, so even though the Q5 is priced like the other two, it is missing a lot of features like driver's seat memory, a sunroof, power folding mirrors, and Sirius XM. It does remain the least expensive of the group, however, so it still manages a 7 out of 10 in the value segment. The 2020 Acura RDX is rated as a top safety pick plus from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, scoring good in every category, but headlights vary from acceptable to good. I'm sure the A-Spec trim gets a good rating, however, because it has the best headlights in the RDX lineup. The active safety features on the RDX are as follows: a collision mitigation braking system, adaptive cruise control with low-speed follow, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, parking sensors, blind spot monitoring, a rear cross traffic monitor, and automatic high beams. The 2020 Lexus NX earns good ratings in every category from the IIHS, but is not a top safety pick. Strangely, the Lexus had earned that rating in years past, but must have fallen behind the times as the model aged. Standard on every Lexus NX is Safety System Plus 2.0, which has a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, lane tracing assist, lane departure alert with steering assist, road sign assist, all-speed dynamic radar cruise control, intelligent high beams, and a blind spot monitor with rear cross traffic alert. The 2019 Q5 is rated good in all categories by the IIHS except headlights, where depending on the trim they are rated either marginal or poor. The Audi comes with Presense Basic and City, which is a fancy term for pedestrian detection and automatic braking. As far as I can tell, there is no rear cross traffic assist, blind spot monitoring, or lane keeping assist. It looks like these features come in the Premium Plus and Prestige models. In the safety segment, the 2 Japanese vehicles again take the cake, with the Acura performing phenomenally in both IIHS ratings and with standard active safety features. 10 for that, 8.3 for the Lexus, which didn't score as well and doesn't have as many safety features, and 7 for the Audi for missing the safety features and scoring poorly on headlights. Though Acura is a Honda brand, even the RDX comes with a turbocharged engine, displacing 2.0 liters with its 4 cylinders. The A-Spec is supposed to be slightly sportier than the other trims, but that's mostly a facade as it makes the same 272 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque as the other trims. This power is routed through a modern 10-speed automatic that gives the driver the ability to shift their own gears using shift paddles. Front-wheel drive is standard, though all-wheel drive is an option. The front-wheel drive model is good for a 7.1 second 0-60 run. The Lexus also has a turbocharged 235 horsepower 2.0 liter inline 4-cylinder that makes 258 pound-feet of torque. It runs through a more dated 6-speed automatic transmission, but the combination is still good for a 7.2 second 0-60 time. The 2019 Audi Q5 has, you guessed it, a 2.0 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder making 248 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. The Audi comes standard with all-wheel drive, which is a huge advantage. It also has a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, and in total, the Audi blows the doors off the other two, reaching 60 miles per hour in 5.9 seconds. 8.5 for the Acura for having lots of power and a good transmission, 7.3 for the Lexus for matching the RDX even with an older trans and less power, and 10 for the Audi for all-wheel drive and speed. According to Consumer Reports' extensive testing, the 2020 RDX is rated as average reliability, the 2020 NX is rated as better than average, and the 2019 Audi Q5 is also rated the same as the Lexus as better than average. A step up or down in Consumer Reports rankings is worth a 1.5 each, so the Audi and Lexus get a 7.5 and the Acura gets a 6. The RDX A-Spec and Q5 Premium Both get 22 miles per gallon in the city and 27 on the highway. The Lexus gets 22 again in the city, but bumps up the highway figure 1 mpg to 28 on the highway. 8 for the RDX and Q5, 8.2 for the Lexus. The RDX is my favorite of the group on the exterior. I think it looks brawny and good looking, even though it has no actual sporting pretension beyond the other RDX trims, at least powertrain wise. This particular red really accentuates some of the finer body angles, and I think the 20-inch rims in smoked gray are fantastic. There are certain angles where I see the Honda CR-V shine through, like at the rear where the taillights meet the C-pillars, but I think the untrained eye won't notice a thing. The Audi, while elegant looking, doesn't stand out at all unless buyers pony up for the SQ5, which puts the sport in sport utility vehicle. Otherwise, the Q5 is sort of a wallflower, but thankfully it isn't as polarizing as the NX. Lexus is still in the beta phase of developing its spindle grille that started with the LC500 concept car, and I think they need to go back to the drawing board. In profile, the front looks like a weird insect, and I also am not a fan of the LED DRLs that make a sort of Nike swoosh under the main headlight. The rear isn't as busy as the front, but I just can't get over what looks like a complete disarray of styles. On the interiors, the A-Spec tries too hard to remain sporty, where Acura should have just accepted that A-Spec buyers don't care if the inside of their RDX looks like an S2000. The gauge cluster, while unique to this trim, is tacky and out of character with the rest of the car. The seats are busy, and the two-tone color scheme seems too boy racer and not enough upper-middle-class empty nester like it should. The Lexus clearly has the most dated interior, and I felt that way immediately when I stepped inside. Furthermore, having owned many a Toyota, I could tell some of the switchgear in the Lexus was taken from the corporate parts bin, which could be upsetting to NX buyers that have ever stepped foot in a late model Corolla. The analog clock placement, steering wheel design, and tiering of the dashboard make me think it's time for an update. Also, I've never seen the push to start button in such a sore spot. However, I still like the general design. The Audi has the best interior by a lot. It's clean, modern, and the TFT instrument cluster is executed perfectly. I think the shifter's beautiful, the steering wheel's perfect, and the wood grain cuts through the otherwise somewhat drab-feeling interior nicely. I'll give the Acura an 8.5 for styling, the Audi an 8.4, and the Lexus a 7. The usability of each vehicle is how well the vehicle is packaged and how well it seems put together, especially for a luxury car. The Acura RDX has 31 cubic feet of storage space with all seats up and 79.8 when down, and it has a low belt line which makes it feel spacious in the interior. The Audi Q5 has the most luxurious back seat, but at the expense of cargo capacity, which is 25.1 with the seats up and 53.1 with the seats down. The NX has even less space with 17.7 cubes behind the rear seats, a number that some mid-size sedans can achieve. With the seats down, there's a maximum of 54.6. The Acura has better storage space up front for phones, pens, purses, and the like than the other two, which is beneficial to any family. The Lexus has this removable piece in the center stack that is perplexing. Seems like something that would get lost. The volume knob in the Audi is a reach for the driver as it's on the passenger side of the bottom of the center console, a weird trend that I have noticed in German vehicles. I'll give the Acura an 8 for the extra cargo capacity and real-world usable space, the Audi a 7.3, and the Lexus a 6.8. Here are the final scores for each vehicle. The Acura dominated the group this year, dethroning the previous winner, the Q5. If you're looking for quiet speed to cruise in understated style, the Q5 remains your vehicle. If you're looking to turn heads for better or worse, grab the Lexus keys. But there is not a better proposition than an Acura RDX A-Spec out of these three, and it is our new king. Cadillac, BMW, and Infiniti are next.